U.S. financial news. The U.S. financial landscape this week was heavily influenced by President Trump's tariff policies and their ripple effects. On April 24th, Yahoo Finance reported that American Airlines withdrew its 2025 financial forecast due to tariff pressures and government spending uncertainties, reflecting broader concerns in the airline industry about predicting travel demand amidst economic turbulence. This move mirrored actions by other carriers, signaling a cautious approach to the year ahead. Trump's tariff strategy also stirred markets globally. On April 22nd, a Reuters post on X noted steep losses in U.S. stocks as Trump ramped up attacks on Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell, raising fears about the central bank's independence. However, by April 22nd, NPR reported Trump, stating he had no intention of firing Powell, calming some speculation but leaving markets jittery. On April 19th, highlighted the economic strain, noting a 245% tariff on China announced by the White House, alongside disappointing economic indicators like the Empire State Manufacturing Index at -8.1 and the Philly Fed Manufacturing Index at -26.4, both underperforming forecasts. These tariffs have caused significant market volatility, with global financial markets experiencing huge losses, as reported by the New York Times on April 24th. On a positive note, Yahoo Finance on April 25th highlighted optimism in the markets as Trump's team touted trade progress, particularly with South Korea, where a 25% reciprocal tariff was paused since April 9th. There's also anticipation for big tech earnings from companies like Apple, Microsoft, and Nvidia, which could further influence market sentiment. As noted by Yahoo Finance.us political news politically, Trump's administration continued to dominate headlines. On April 24th, NPR reported a developing scandal in Florida, where Republican lawmakers are investigating how $10 million in state funds were diverted for a political campaign linked to Governor Ron DeSantis' wife, raising questions about political ethics and transparency. This could have broader implications for DeSantis' political future. Trump's tariff policies also had political ramifications. On April 23rd, NPR noted that young Democrats are challenging incumbents in safe blue districts, frustrated with their party's response to Trump's policies, drawing parallels to Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez's 2018 upset. This suggests a growing generational rift within the Democratic Party as they navigate Trump's influence internationally. Trump's foreign policy moves were significant. A Reuters post on X on April 24th reported a clash between Trump and Ukraine's Zelensky, with the U.S. warning it might abandon Ukraine talks. However, on April 18th, mentioned Putin's claim of progress toward ending the war with Ukraine. And NPR on April 24th noted a warming of U.S.-Russia relations under Trump with efforts to broker a peace deal. Though these efforts appear to be faltering, the desire to secure big business deals with the Kremlin remains strong, highlighting a pragmatic approach despite geopolitical tensions. World news globally. Several major events unfolded. On April 23rd, NPR reported the death of Pope Francis, with his body lying in state at St. Peter's Square. CBS News on April 25th noted that speculation on his successor has become one of 2025's most popular betting markets, and the funeral is expected to be a significant political event with sensitive sideline meetings, reflecting the Vatican's global influence. Trump's tariffs had widespread international impact. On April 23rd, NPR reported that Canada is feeling the economic and political effects of U.S. tariffs, affecting everything from small businesses to national identity. Reuters on April 24th noted China's call for the cancellation of all unilateral U.S. tariffs, with signs that the Trump administration might de-escalate its trade war with Beijing. A Reuters post on X on April 24th confirmed the White House is considering cutting China tariffs as part of talks, indicating a potential softening of Trump's stance, as also noted by NPR on April 24th. Elsewhere, on April 20th, Al Jazeera reported on Iran-U.S. nuclear discussions in Rome, with Iran's foreign minister expressing concern about U.S. motivations but confirming negotiations would proceed. This suggests ongoing diplomatic efforts despite mutual skepticism. On April 23rd, Reuters reported a deadly attack on tourists in Indian Kashmir, raising fears of renewed tensions with Pakistan and spooking markets, highlighting the fragility of regional stability. In Europe, The Economist on April 24th reported that Germany revised its 2025 growth forecast from 0.3% to 0%, reflecting economic challenges exacerbated by global trade tensions. In the UK, Reuters on April 24th noted a $1.9 billion dip in assets for St. James's Place due to tariff woes, alongside weak export orders for manufacturers, underscoring the broader economic fallout from U.S. policies. Critical reflection. While Trump's tariff strategy has been framed as a tool to boost U.S. leverage in trade negotiations, the widespread economic fallout, market losses, airline forecast withdrawals, and global growth downgrade suggests a high cost that may disproportionately affect smaller businesses and consumers. The optimism around trade progress with South Korea and potential de-escalation with China is encouraging. But the inconsistency in Trump's approach, as seen in his shifting tone on tariffs and Powell, raises questions about long-term stability. Politically, the Florida scandal and Democratic Party tensions reflect deeper systemic issues in governance and party dynamics. While globally, events like Pope Francis' death and the Kashmir attack underscore the interconnectedness of political and economic stability. These narratives, often presented as straightforward progress or conflict, require scrutiny to understand the underlying power dynamics and economic trade-offs at play. This summary captures the week's most impactful events across financial, political, and global spheres, providing a balanced view of the developments.